Welcome into Dual Forces Part One. I'm so excited you're here. I'm so excited to be here. Hey, Kelty on the live with me. Hey, everyone on the replay. This is the masterclass that I feel like really brings my three passions or obsessions together, right? We have manifestation, business, and tapping, which is like nervous system expansion work. This is so exciting. So, Dual Forces is going to be I want to just plant that seed and say it's going to be like a transformational experience for you, especially if you're here new into my space, into my world, because um, this is very much what I believe the world needs to hear. Like the effortless way is a thing. And I see it again and again in my own life. This is how I live. This is how I work. This is how I run my businesses. This is what I lead my clients through. The effortless way is available to all of us. We don't need this force, this hustle grind, this figuring it out, this like masculine struggle or overwhelm. We don't need that as part of our experience. And today and tomorrow, I'm going to walk you through that, and I'm going to lead you through my own experiences. I'm going to encourage everyone who's on live with me to share their own experiences as well. And I'm going to teach you some concepts that I have kind of like collected and experienced along the way through my own journey. So, welcome in. If you've never been to a live event of mine before, like if you're live with me, I love when you are in the chat with me, when you are conversing with me, when you are conversing with other people who may be on live. I love when the chat is lit because it makes me feel like I'm not just talking to myself. So if something lands, I want you to say yes. I want you to get into the conversation. I want you to share with me and really be in this energy with me here. This is one of the benefits of being on live with me. So if you couldn't make it live today, but you're watching the replay and you can make it tomorrow, try to be on live with me tomorrow because it is this more of a conversation that we get the most out of the full entire experience. So I will apologize because my voice is not 100%. I'm feeling a little bit of like a chest cold. So there's that as well, but I will do my best. Got my tea and all the things. So let's get into the itinerary. What do we got going on? Today we're going to be on for about an hour. Okay, we're leaning more into like the feminine flow. My intention behind today's conversation is to kind of shake up your paradigm, is to help you to like kind of open up your perceptions and ask what if. Okay, what if it doesn't need to be hard? Those sorts of things. We're going to build massive awareness together. And then we are going to tomorrow move into more of the action piece, the masculine action. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to move the call an hour earlier. So we will start at 9 a.m. Costa Rica time, which someone brought to my attention the other day is actually mountain time right now. Like Central time is an hour ahead of me. So I just say Costa Rica time because it's easier to Google what is Costa Rica time. What time is it in Costa Rica? So we're going to start an hour before right now. Tomorrow, and again, we'll go for about an hour and a bit. Okay. I do love to talk. I always have a lot to say. Okay, you're in November 3rd, you switch times. Okay. Um, good to know. Good to know. Very soon. And then I will be Costa Rica never changes time, actually. So then you'll be confused. So tomorrow is all about the masculine. We bring in the action, but it's not the hustle, grind, push, pull action. It's not this like stressful force. It's this like effortless action. And it gets to feel so good. And so I'm so excited for that. There will be integration homework both days. I'm going to give you this little call to action, right, to integrate. We have our group chat on the portal, inside the portal over on Telegram, which is my free community. So if you registered for this event, you can come and join us inside the group chat as well. We're going to be talking about the embodiment homework more in there, the integration homework. We're going to be kind of like having more of a conversation, a behind the scenes conversation over there in the group chat. Okay, so register for the event if you have not already, and then you can access the group chat. And tomorrow I have a really exciting invitation for you coming. So if you can, like I said, be on live with me. Everyone who is registered for the event, I love to I love to reward people who mm, who are moving, right? The people who are like, I'm doing it anyway, right? I love to reward the people who are moving. So I have a special invitation for you tomorrow. And because you are registered for this event, you have a extra special opportunity. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say right now. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. But it is something, all you need to know is it is something that is brand new and it is the perfect continuation of this conversation. Okay, so this whole event, Dual Forces, was inspired by the quote by Wallace D. Wattles. You guys know the one, right? In The Science of Getting Rich. I think Kelty knows it. Your thoughts have the magnetic power to draw everything to you. Your action is what makes you open to receive. Okay, it's not just, I'm going to force my way there and take massive action. No, your thoughts have the magnetic power to draw everything to you. Thoughts become things, right? And your action is what makes you open to receive. You need to still take action. So even though I say it's the effortless way, over these 2 days, I'm going to share what that actually means and how, yes, absolutely, it is the effortless way. Kelty, I want to know, have you experienced the effortless way? Okay, let me know in the chat. But it is the effortless action, but it's still action. But it's action in a new way with our emotions, our nervous system on our side. So when we go to take the action, it doesn't feel like, oh God, it's so hard. I feel so overwhelmed and so stressed out. I don't even know what to do. It's this action that is like, oh, obviously, this is the next step. Obviously, this is what she would do. Right. And it gets to come from that highest self, that higher experience. Okay, I absolutely love that quote. I used to not, this was healthy. I used to not want to because I don't like hard work. Okay. And now I am immersed as I see it's not hard work, it's fun work, fulfilling work, and admirable work. I love it. Yes, this is the effortless way. And I always used to like kind of mock people, to be honest, that were like, it's if you believe it to be true, it'll be your truth. And I'm like, yeah, you could. Well, I've never understood what that means, but I'm here today teaching you. If you believe it to be true, it is going to be your truth. And it's actually kind of hilarious. But it's that idea that we have collected, that work's meant to be hard. How do you make a lot of an impact in the world? How do you change a lot of lives? How do you make a lot of money? You're working really hard, right? And this has been reflected back to us in our life, right? We have witnessed our parents, people around us, people we look up to, struggle, force, work their entire lives away, be really busy, not present with their families, whatever that means, like working for the weekend, taking one vacation a year, like everywhere we look, this is something that most people, like I said, if people knew about the dual forces, the world would be a different place. And I honestly strongly believe that. And so most people believe those beliefs. And the more that we believe them, the more it will be our reality, right? So if we're thinking, okay, well, success is the result of a lot of hard work, money is really hard to make. What do you think our experience is going to be along those lines, right? Going to be that. So I love that you've reframed that idea of, because Kelty always says, like, I don't want to work hard. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to work hard either. And I know you guys don't either. None of us are here to work hard. Work hard it honestly is like an old paradigm. It's something that's an expired concept. Like we no longer have to work hard. Okay. And that is a blessing, right? But I feel like we never really, there's this quote that's coming to my mind that's like, when you, what is it like? Something like, when you love the work you do, you'll never work a day in your life or something like that. Like it's that energy though. It's like, I am obsessed. I am obsessed with what I do. I love it so much. It gets me so excited. And I am so like, when I am tapped into that creative energy, I just like feel so alive. Okay. That's the energy that we want to be in. Why would we want to be in, oh man, this is so hard. I don't know what to do. I got to post on Instagram. I got to come up with another program. Oh man, I got to call with this person. This sucks. That's not what we want to do, right? So that's just like a pretty like drastic example there. Okay, I have shared my own examples in other ways over the years, but I want to take you through a few of them over the next 2 days as well. But I want you to, if you're live with me, I want to give you a firsthand experience of how this works, okay? And I want to invite you to get uncomfortable. So I want you to tell me in the chat, what are you manifesting? What are you calling it? Okay. And I know Kelty's on live with me right now, and like Kelty's not new to this work. So she's not a very good example because she knows what I'm going to say. And she also is already existing and living in the effortless way. Kelty has been working with me for quite a while now, and she's in the tapping challenge. She's in like deep into this work in her life, and she has been acting in the assumption of a new idea of a millionaire's identity for some time now. And it's all happening for her. Kelty is currently publishing multiple books right now, like 3 of her own, co-authoring another book. Like this has all happened since being in this work, okay? Since embodying the millionaire version of herself. So of course, what does Kelty put in the chat? She puts in millions of dollars. What am I manifesting? Millions of dollars. Great. Okay. So I'm going to play a little game then, since Kelty does know my work and it embodies this. I want you to think, Kelty, what would normal people do if they wanted to make millions of dollars? What would normal people do? Okay, put it in the chat, and you don't have to like go like huge into it. What would they do? Okay, and you guys as well, watching on the replay, like what is the usual? If you wanted to manifest millions of dollars, if you wanted to create millions of dollars, what is exactly? What is the first step? What are the steps to creating $1 million? Millions of dollars, not a million, millions of dollars. Exactly. You're gonna get a job, you're gonna get another job, maybe start a side hustle, you're gonna work harder, grind more. That's it. You're gonna do more. Okay. So then, what is the effortless way? And Kelty can put it in the chat as well. What is the effortless way? If the usual way, the normal way is to like plan it all out, right? How am I going to make millions of dollars? Oh my God, how am I going to make millions of dollars if I don't even have $10,000? How am I going to make millions of dollars if I only make $100,000 a year with my job, right? This is exactly. This is the usual, like the normal way of thinking. It is very linear. It is progressive. It is logical. It is realistic. This is the usual normal action that most people believe is the way to create success. If you want to create millions of dollars, do you want to go out and take massive action right now and figure it out and piece it together? And even if you did, and you were moving from your current results, from your current reality, if you were like, okay, millions of dollars, and your mind was like, it's not possible, it's not possible, it's not possible. What's going to be your reality? Because remember, not just a bit ago, we said, what about beliefs? Our beliefs create our reality. Every time what we believe to be true will be our truth. Law of assumption. So if we are believing, oh man, I can't make $1 million. $1 million is so hard. Millions of dollars. How could I ever do that? And then we have these other beliefs that are in there that, oh my God, part of me really wants millions of dollars. But the other part of me is like, what are people going to think? Right? Oh my gosh. And then we see people that drive by in like their fucking Rolls Royce, their G-Wagon, whatever. And we're like, oh, who are they? What a waste of money. There are people on the streets right now, and this asshole thinks he can go and buy a G-Wagon? What a waste of money. Okay, our beliefs create a reality. Do you want the millions of dollars, or do you not want the millions of dollars? This is how important it is to build awareness around our beliefs, because our beliefs always create. We will always live through our beliefs. So this is not surface level. Do you see how different this is from like surface level manifestation? Right? Like manifestation, when people think of manifestation, I did a post on this the other day. It's like Okay, I'm manifesting. I am manifesting millions of dollars. I'm like, great. I love that for you. But like, what are you doing in exchange? What are you doing about it? If you're manifesting millions of dollars and nothing is changing, yes, I love that. And nothing about you is changing. Do you realize, like, this is the thing, is like, there is a separation between the version of you who is making your current level of money and the version of you who is easily, with ease, holding and circulating millions of dollars. There is a frequency difference. Okay, we live in a vibrational universe. We think of this on frequencies. You can almost think of it as like radio waves, like Bob Proctor would explain, right? It's like different frequencies of vibration. Okay, if you want to get onto the pop channel, you got to be on 107.6, right? If you're not on 107.6, you are not going to be on the pop channel. Okay, so how do we get ourselves to elevate to that frequency? This is the effortless way. When you can vibrate and align your frequency to the frequency of that which you desire, that is where manifestation happens. This is not a surface level high vibes and happy and flow when inside you're like fucking assholes with money, like it's your beliefs are everything. So this is so much more than just this fake it till you make it. Kelty says, I basically get paid to exist. Me too, girl. Me too. And it's awesome. Right? So she says the first step in the effortless way in moving towards creating and holding and circulating. I love circulating. I love that word because money is not meant to be like this. Anyone that tells you to save your money, save your money. I'm like, ooh, that's laugh. That feels hard. That feels like very limiting. I don't want to save. I don't want to like lock my money up and like hold it hostage. Circulation. Money loves circulation. And when you can circulate in the energy of abundance, oh, that's everything. Because when you are, even when it comes to, let's say, paying your bills, I love paying our bills because it's, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I only have to pay $250 this month for my electricity. Like, what a blessing. That is incredible. What a deal. Because I get lights all the time and the hot water. What would I do without that? Oh my gosh, every time I flush my toilet, I'm like, thank you. Thank you. I do not have to like go to the bathroom in the bush, And I mean, nothing against going to the bathroom in the bush, but I mean, like, I wouldn't want to do that all the time. You know what I mean? Hope you know what I mean. That is how we circulate. When we circulate our money in that feeling of like, thank you, gratitude. Okay, that is how we welcome in more. We do not welcome in more. We do not pray for more, like, I need more. Please give me more. No, we pray, we ask through thank you, through gratitude. I'm so grateful for this. When we circulate, I would love that. I would love to pay for that right now. I would love the upgrade. Yes, thank you. Right? It's that. It's what would I love? And we're circulating in that energy. So beautiful. So when we are the first step in circulating millions of dollars is seeing abundance everywhere, is actually seeing, just like Healthy said, first they started seeing abundance everywhere. That's what we're doing today. We're going to shift you out of seeing your reality for what it is and into, I'm going to see abundance everywhere. And even though I said for what it is right now, your current results are a reflection of your past behaviors, your past beliefs, your past thoughts and actions. Okay, that's what got you to where you are today, at a younger version of you. But if you are continuing to look around and react or respond even from your current results, and you're making decisions based upon what you can experience through your five senses, you're going to be extremely limited. I need to think about that for a second. It's really interesting Because as visionary, I call us visionaries. We have the ability to believe in the unseen. We have this beautiful imagination that is just like, I almost see it as like, Kelty used the word yesterday in the chat or the day before, like chomping at the bit, like the horse. And like, it's like that. It's like my imagination is just like, it's so exciting and it's so wild and it's so beautiful. And I know all of you have that ability as well. That's why you're here. I attract visionary dreamers into my world. You have this ability, but maybe up until now, you have been dimming it down because other people around you have told you, no, that's not right. You need to think logically. You need to be here. Okay, remember the usual way of making progress, and the usual way of creating abundance and success is very linear and logical, but we are not. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay, so visionaries, what we're doing here is we are beginning to expand our beliefs and realize that what we actually are perceiving here and experiencing through our five senses is old information, right? And what we can actually perceive and experience and really truly like get emotionally involved with, because emotions are, manifestation is an emotional game. What we can really actually experience in our imagination is our truth. It's our truth. Okay? What you can experience in your imagination is your truth. So way back when, I feel like it was so long ago, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when I lived in government housing and I was looking around, right? I was writing a post the other day that was like, for 2 years, it took me 2 years to decide. And then 9 months later, I was in Costa Rica. I don't think it was 2 years actually, because I was trying to like time it out, but I don't think it was 2 years. It was me, because when my middle daughter, sorry, was born, we moved to Costa Rica when she was just over 2 years old. About two, maybe 2.5, maybe 2.5. Okay. So 2 years, the first probably 6 months of her life, I was in survival mode, 100% in survival mode. How do I survive is basically how it was. And then my perception started to open and I started to wonder if something else was available. But it wasn't until she was probably about one or just over one that I started to realize that I was living in a cycle. And remember, awareness is the first step in changing anything. Without awareness, there is nothing to be changed, right? So I realized that I was living up to my past experiences. I realized that I was living through my beliefs and ideas from other people around me. And actually, I had this like realization that my life really looked like parts of my childhood, and it scared me. And so I decided to do something different. But there was a period of time, and that's what I said. It was like it took me about 2 years to decide. It was actually more like a year and a half, but it doesn't matter anyway. It took me that amount of time to expand into the realization and belief that all I needed to do was decide. Remember back then, I didn't know who Bob Proctor was. I didn't have the information and the awareness I do now. I didn't know about everything I'm teaching you now. And it took me, again, when I arrived in Costa Rica, it took me, not even joking, like another 2 years to realize that there was actually a method, like what actually happened and caused me to be able to go from government housing to Costa Rica in 9 months. Like what happened there? And it took me like 2 years to actually accept it. It's so crazy. It's so wild how the mind works, right? But I realized that I was living up to my past experiences and beliefs from other people around me. Okay. And then from there, I started to build more awareness and I started to ask myself, what if it is possible for me? What if? Okay. So whatever it is that you are manifesting, I want you to begin there. I want you to see, Kelty said millions of dollars. What if it is possible for me? And right away, what tends to happen is our logical mind likes to jump in. right? Our masculine mind likes to jump in and say, well, how? How is it possible for you then? Show me the proof. We talk about this a lot in my world, but like if you're talking with a man about an idea, most of the time they're going to say, okay, show me the numbers, right? And it's not until you're actually like even profitable in business that they're actually going to start to get behind you. I don't want to generalize, but this is very much a masculine concept of like, I see like the mind is like this man inside your head being like, show me the proof, like out with the book and the pen. And it's like, all right, show me the proof. How are we going to do this? And it wants you to write it out. It wants you to plan it out. And I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're here talking about dual forces and the effortless way, and that's definitely not the effortless way, right? So, um, Kelly says, since I decided who I wanted to be in my 20s, I decided the only way to get it was to win the lottery. Because who am I to create millions of dollars? Well, after working with Jocelyn, I know exactly who I am, and I've been shown that I can, in fact, create this for myself. Yes, that's everything. Oh my gosh. And who knows? I'm still open to winning a lottery, right? Kelty's still buying a lottery ticket. I don't know. Like we're open to receive in expected and unexpected ways. But I absolutely believe that Kelty can create millions of dollars by being the best of herself and by living her best freaking life as the best of herself. That's so exciting. Thank you for sharing there, Kelty. It's awesome. So what happened then for me to go from existing in the reality that there's not enough, that I live in government housing, I'm alone with my two kids, like this is how life is. What happened for me to go from that like survival mode into Costa Rica? This is it, and making that decision, right? I literally, like, I always use this example. Bob Proctor says there's two ways to break a paradigm. Okay, that's basically what I was living in, is my own program and my own paradigm of information. There's two ways to break a paradigm. One is through constant repetition. It's through telling yourself a new idea again and again and again. And I eventually started to tell myself a new story, right? What if this is available? What if this is available? And it's not that we don't want to stay in just the what if. We want to move from the what if into this is available to me. And then we want to move from this is available to me into this is my reality, right? And there's different stages of that journey that I went through and that I experienced. And it's not until I actually got to the point of like, the universe helped me decide basically that anything started to happen. Because we can tell ourselves a new story all day long. If we don't accept the belief that we can change a belief in an instant, it's not going to happen. If you believe that it takes a really long time to change a belief, what's going to be your experience? That it's going to take a really long time for me to change my belief. Whatever we tell ourselves again and again and again will be our truth. Yes or yes. Okay. That's what a belief is. It's a thought over and over and over again. And so if we're continuing to tell ourselves the same thing again and again, that's going to solidify as a belief. So when we can, like the first way to change a paradigm, like Bob says, right, is through constant repetition of a new idea. Over time, that is going to become your reality. Yes. But if you can accept the belief that you can change a belief in an instant, see how we're like double believing here. I believe I can change my belief in an instant. So therefore, effective immediately, this is my reality. And you start taking action from there. That's amazing. Incredible. Okay. So something else here. The second way to change a paradigm or break out of this like programming is through drastic emotional impact. So something big happens that like shakes your world. And that's what happened to me. Okay. I call it like procrastinating. I was like making a decision. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to Costa Rica, or I'm going to go to somewhere warm. I'm going to go traveling. I'm going to show my babies the world. That was like, I am going to equals I am not. I am not. Even if you're like, I am not yet, I don't care. It's still in the future. Okay. So I am going to show my babies the world. The moment that I actually decided, when we actually decide, it goes from I am going to into I am. The I am is decided. I am. I am a millionaire, right? I am. Okay. I crashed my mom's truck while she was in Mexico that winter, the last winter I was in Canada. And that's what helped me to make the decision. That's what helped me because the universe was like, do you want to go or not? Are you going or not? Like, we're ready to deliver. I'm ready to deliver. The biggest thing here is that the universe always wants to deliver what you want to you. But the reality is that most people try to control the situation and try to play God, right? Try to play universe. And even though I will say, like, I don't use the God language that much, and I definitely don't, align with any religion. But when you think of this, from the perspective of the visionary creative, we are creators. We are the creators. Okay, so if you look around, everything comes through us. Where does it come from? That's the question nobody knows the answer to, right? Everyone has their own opinion on that. That information, that hit of inspiration, that idea that changes the world, where does that information come from? If you've never learned it, didn't come from your brain. Your brain, your mind only knows what it has actually learned. Your soul is infinite, however, and that is what I'm talking about. That is connected into something that is bigger than our human experience. And this is wild because we can think of someone and then they message us or we see them on the street, right? I do this all the time. And this shows that there is something bigger than just this human experience. So whatever you call it, whatever it is, I firmly believe that um, there is a force that we are, that I am, that you are, that is connecting all of us together, that is so much bigger than us. So those ideas that we receive, that nudge, right? Kelty's like, I want to make millions of dollars. That is on Kelty's heart for a reason, and it has always been there, right? She, even you guys watching on the replay, like these ideas that are coming now to you, well, these desires, is I would love that, right? Since I was 3 years old, Kelty's incredible, right? So I was going to say some people, however, maybe had this desire, but maybe they have through life kind of let this desire kind of dissolve, kind of suppress. And that's not what here and in my world, we like throw fuel on that desire. We're like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's bring it brighter. Let's shine a light on it and remember that this is actually my truth. This is my truth. And I'm not going to get there through hustle, grind, and a lot of fucking hard work. I'm going to get there the effortless way. And what is the effortless way? It is through making a decision and embodying the highest version of yourself and taking action in a new way. Okay, there's a lot of information here. I could talk on this for days, I think weeks. Luckily, we have 2 days together. So what happened? I made a decision. I crashed the car. I made the decision, but I made the decision in a yes or yes format. I don't even know how to say this, right? It was like, I decided that I no longer was a victim to my circumstances. I no longer was letting what happened or what was happening around me limit me in any way. And I decided that this was the last winter I was going to be in Canada. I didn't know all the details. I didn't know where I was going. You see, like even Kelty's like, I want millions of dollars. She didn't know the how. And even still now, she has some pretty good ideas, different ways it can come to her, but we don't want to limit ourselves. Why would we want to? Remember that what we just talked about, like if we are playing God, we are believing that I get to decide, I get to call the shots, like I get to choose what happens next, when actually you do have a pretty good say through your beliefs and through your expectations, but there is still a higher awareness that has more information than us, is what I'm going to say. Has more information than us, right? Because if we try to predict or assume or choose or control how we're going to make millions of dollars, what's going to happen? Yeah, we're going to limit ourselves, because if we are in that controlling state and we are trying to figure our way out or forward, we're moving from the mind's perspective. And remember that the mind only knows what it has learned. But when we can move out of the mind and into the soul, into the infinite, like Kelty just said, is love as acting, as if. I just love as if the wish is fulfilled. And I'm open to how that is happening. And it is happening now. When we can move through that, so beautiful. Move through out of the mind and into the soul, into infinite conscious awareness, right? Into infinite creation. And just know that this is actually my truth. This is the effortless way. So beautiful. So when I made that decision that I was going, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know how it was going to work out. I didn't know even where the dad was of my kids. Okay. I knew and if I would have continued like I had for that year and some, whatever, if I would have continued to tell myself, I need all the information first. I need to know all the details first. I need to have it all planned out, just like we're taught, right? I would still probably be there. I would still probably be there like my neighbors still are. Okay. But I didn't. I made a decision and I surrendered. This is the effortless way. This is the feminine. Okay. I surrendered. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I consciously was creating a new reality for myself, even unconsciously. But I remember I would put the kids to bed and I would sit there at nighttime, just like dreaming about how my life was going to be. And we would put on music, tropical music, right? At first I was like, maybe we'll go to Mexico, but then I was like, something in my soul just doesn't feel right there. Like I don't feel fully connected to Mexico. And then I started to see signs, just like Kelty mentioned. I started to receive guidance from the universe because I had let go of the control. I just knew before the next winter, I am not in Canada. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't even care how it's going to work out. I'm not here. Okay. And so when I surrendered, I let go of that, like that force. And when we do, have you ever been looking for something and you're looking so hard, and the moment you give up, you find it? It's so weird. It's so weird. But this is it. Jeez. This is what we're talking about here. This is the effortless way. So you need to make a decision. This is it. This is what's available to me. I know it is. I can feel it in my soul. That's how I know. I can feel it in my body. It feels alive. Okay. And then we don't just go and take massive action towards it. We ask ourselves, who do I need to be? Right? That's what Kelty's been working on with me. Embodiment. Who do I need to be? And we spend time with the version of us who already has. What does that mean? You can create any image in your imagination. If I tell you to think of a dolphin jumping over waves right now, 3 dolphins together jumping over waves, you can see it in your imagination. If I told you to bite into a lemon right now, you can feel it in your mouth. There's no lemons around. This is how powerful our mind is. So when we decide, we make a decision and we decide this is it, and we choose that every single day. I want you to hear me. We don't just choose it one time and it is done. Okay, that's great. I love that for you. If that's your journey, that's awesome. But what I know to be true, and again, like I'm open to seeing this differently, but I choose with intention every single day. This is my reality. This is my reality. And this is a lot of the work I do with my clients, because if you think about it, we have spent 30 plus, 40 plus years thinking a certain belief, believing a certain belief, living our lives in a certain direction, in a certain way, right? And so the moment you begin to introduce new information and say, oh, what if? What if this doesn't have to be my reality? What if that actually doesn't matter as much as I thought it did? what if this could be my reality? What if I could actually be a multimillionaire? The mind starts to, it likes to get involved, right? It likes to get loud. And this is where my tapping comes in as well. We're going to do some tapping in a little second here. So we begin to expand our perceptions. The mind generally will come with all the stories, and just like the man would, right? Come with all of the information and all the evidence. Look, see, it's not right. It's not okay. You're not good enough. You're not there yet. You need to do all these things first. You haven't, no, it's that. And it comes with all this information and with friends. See, Simon came too. He doesn't think you're good enough either. Whatever. I'm just being funny here, but like, you get what I'm trying to say. Like the moment we introduce new information and you guys are learning about the effortless way now, the mind is going to play some tricks on you and it's going to feel really fucking real. But I want you to know that you get to choose. So when it does show up, when that information does show up, when that resistance, that contrast, when all those ideas of who am I, what am I, I don't even know comes up, you're not going to give your energy to it. You're going to actually hold it and say, this is what I'm here for. I'm here for the millions. I'm here for the impact. I'm here for the effortless way. I'm here to have more fun and enjoy my fucking life. I'm here to have more time and more space. Make more money and like change more lives, whatever it is. You're choosing that and you choose it again and again and again. So there were definitely moments between the decision of fuck this, I'm going out of leaving Canada, done with the winters. There was a time between the decision and the manifestation of holy shit, here I am in Costa Rica now. Okay, there was time in between. And I said the other day in this post was, moving to Costa Rica wasn't the hard part. Holding the in between was. It was said in a different way, but it was holding the in between was. There were many, many times between the decision and the manifestation that were challenging, right? Like I remember going into the office, like giving my notice, like shaking like this. I'm leaving government housing. People don't leave government housing. Okay. And she said, where are you going? I said, I found a different place. I'm not going to say, yeah, I have a one-way ticket planned. I have one-way ticket booked for Costa Rica next month. No. Okay. I don't need your opinion. I do not need your suggestions or your input whatsoever. Thank you very much. Right. So if we can hold the in between and recognize that contrast, that resistance that we feel, all it is a gift actually, right? And it is an opportunity to lean in and see, because this is the effortless way, right? If we can get our beliefs behind us, and what I mean behind us is like working with us and actually believe beliefs that are actually going to serve us, this is going to make our life a lot easier, isn't it? And it's going to actually collapse time. So anytime that we notice fear, worry, doubt show up, we can actually see it as a gift and then lean in and say, oh, I'm curious. Where is this coming from? What am I holding on to that is no longer serving me? And we can actually ask ourselves and go into it, okay, and actually free it from our body. So this is where my tapping method comes in. And I want to take you guys through a tapping session here. Okay. So before I do, I hope now you see, at least beginning to see that there is an effortless way. Okay. And the effortless way still requires action. We're going to talk all about that tomorrow. It still requires action, but it's a different type of action. Okay. And when you go to take the action, when you have your emotions and your nervous system and your body on your side, the action you go to take is going to be different. When you go to take action, you're taking it from the realm, the vibrational frequency of the wish fulfilled. I am a millionaire, therefore this is how I move. It's that action. It's not, okay, I want to create millions of dollars. Let's go. It's not that energy of moving from your current results, because then your action is going to be like this, and you are going to be operating from an old system, right? An old program of probably lack, limitation, and it's not, it's not necessarily like anything to do with you. It's everything to do with what you've experienced up until now. Okay. So the effortless way then is leaning just into the wish fulfilled, just like Healthy mentioned. So when we start tapping, I want to explain a little bit about my tapping method, just a little bit first, because when we go to take new action, what tends to happen? Kelty, do you remember the first time that you went to go take new action in a new way? You want to share something about like what you encountered, even if you want to just share the weekend thing that you just did a couple weekends ago that you felt resistance around. Like what tends to happen when we're like, okay, this is the wish fulfilled. I'm a multimillionaire. How would I move? How do you know the answer to that? Is you spend time with her. You can imagine anything, right? Imagine you are a multimillionaire. You can get into the persona. I have visualizations. I call them quantum. I called it. Yeah, like quantum visualization to get into the frequency of her, the embodiment of her, the identity of her, and you can actually ask her questions. You can do this at any point. You can get into the frequency of that version of you and ask her, what would you do? What would you say? How would you feel? What action would I take? I've actually created my own GPT of that version of me. So anytime I can literally go and ask her questions. Okay. Anyway, this is the effortless way. But sometimes we encounter some resistance. So this is where my tapping method comes in, because we're not just sweeping that resistance under the rug. We're not just, turning away from it and saying, no, you don't exist. You don't own me anymore. Like, no. We actually are shining a light on it and we're moving towards it. Because like I said, what we there's a quote, I always mess this up. It's hilarious. It's actually kind of funny. What we resist persists, right? So if we're going to resist shining a light on that belief, right? Shining a light on that resistance or fear, it is persisting. It's like a shadow in the darkness, like getting bigger, right? It's that. So we don't want that. We want to shine a light on it and say, hey, pull up a chair. Let's have a chat, right? Let's talk about it. And why are you still hanging out here? Okay. And once you can free it from your body and say, I love you, I bless you, I release you. Thank you so much for serving me up until now. I'm ready for so much more. So I'm no longer giving my power away to you. I'm actually taking it back. And that's huge. When we forgive everyone else involved, this is how we heal. Okay, we can heal in a moment's notice. It doesn't need to take years at all. It doesn't need to take a lot of effort. It's literally intention. Okay, Kelty said yes when I decided to go all in on publishing my books, trusting that the money would show up, and then I panicked because I had no money. Then I started looking around and saw abundance all around me, and so far I've survived each month and have had more than enough. Even though all my money is tied up, it was scary, but I knew it was resistance that I could walk through. Absolutely. And I have held high, running in pure faith of knowing. Yes, I love that so much. If we look back, we can see how the dots line up, right? We can see how everything's always worked out. But it's in these moments of doubt where we tend to freak out. But if we have that awareness and we can actually tap into that new reality and then free that information from our body, right? With my tapping method, we vent and we process. We build awareness and we vent it from our body. We heal, we ground, we regulate, we heal the inner child. And then we begin to expand. We activate a new idea. We ask, what if? We begin to expand into a new reality. It's so beautiful. I even found $400 for the girls' weekend I went on. Like, where did that come from? You're infinite. Look at you. You're always creating money. Another an interesting exercise to do as well is to kind of like look back and add up all the money you've made over your lifetime. Already millionaires. This is us showing our conscious mind. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. This is us showing our conscious mind that it's possible. I'm already a multimillionaire. Right? Even if you're somebody who who works for yourself, if you have your own business and you are constantly being like paid random amounts of money, it's really easy for you to just receive a random amount of money and then go spend it. But if you look back and actually like calculate how much money you've made, and even if you have multiple businesses as well, like Kelty also has like her belts, she does other things. Like you can actually add up all the money that you make through these different avenues of income. And if you've got investments, like those sorts of things, like you're actually like, you can be like, wow, like showing your, remember that masculine, that man part of your mind, the proof. Like, wow, look, it's already available to me. We're already doing it. I'm already a multimillionaire and I'm open to receiving and circulating even more. And when we can spend, right, isn't an investment. Yeah, exactly. Kilty. I literally own an over $1 million property and see how 100% I create this for me. I'm already a millionaire. You're already a millionaire. So when you're saying I am a millionaire, Kelty's like, for real, I am a millionaire now. And I'm open to receive more. And I'm open to receive and circulate more money. More is always flowing to me from expected and unexpected places. It's so beautiful. I love that so much. So I forget what I was just trying to say. I was going to say there, but anyway, let's go into some tapping. Let's go into some tapping. This is so exciting. So tapping on letting go of the control. How do we feel about that? Because that's what came to mind when I was writing out these notes this morning and last night. I was like, this is what I feel we need to talk about, is letting go of the control. So I want you to find a comfortable seat. I'm just going to set up my microphone here. I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through an imaginary straw. Take another inhale in. And just notice how you're feeling. Really tune in. You can close your eyes. And exhale through the straw. Feel your feet or your body on the earth. Notice how you're feeling. And then when you are ready, you can open your eyes if they're closed. We're going to start by tapping on the side of the hand. If you're new to tapping, you just follow what I do, say what I say. Repeating after me. I am here to do really big things. And I now notice that I have been in my own way, trying to force and figure it out, trying to piece it all together. And it has felt, how has it felt? I have been believing that this is just how it's done. That success requires a lot of hard work. And that's what I've been doing. But I know I don't want to continue on this way. What if it could be easy? What if success could even be effortless? That's what I'm here for. And this feels, how does this feel? And even though my mind is still adjusting to this idea and is trying to tell me all the things I should be doing, that's okay. I love myself anyway. And I forgive myself for believing success requires a lot of hard work. And I am intentionally changing this belief now. Let's move to the top of the head. I am here to do really big things. And a younger version of me would have believed that she needed to do a lot. She would have believed that it's going to take a lot of time. She would have believed that she needed to control the process and figure it all out. But today I have decided that I no longer believe those ideas. And instead, I am choosing to believe that there is an effortless way. And all I need to do is decide and be the version of me who already has. And this feels, how's it feel? So right here and now, I'm deciding to let go of the control. The control that I thought I had. I am no longer forcing anything into existence. And I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. All of the things that I thought I had to do, all of the ways that I felt limited or stressed out, or even overwhelmed or uncomfortable. They no longer have power over me. I forgive myself for believing that the struggle is part of the journey. I forgive myself for believing that money is hard to make. I forgive myself for believing that I have to control the process. I forgive myself for believing, your turn, fill in the blank. And I also want to forgive anyone else who may have played a role in me believing that these ideas were real. I know now more than ever before that what is actually real is what I can see and experience in my imagination. And this feels, how's it feel? And so I'm going to go into my day now, knowing that there's no way I can fuck it up. And what's meant for me can never miss me. I don't need to control anything. And all I need to do is get my hopes up, make a decision, and hold the feeling of the wish fulfilled because it's already happening. And as I go into my day today, I'm going to see proof everywhere I look. And every time I do, I'm going to celebrate because I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And it's all happening for me. And so it is. Bring one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a deep breath in. You can close your eyes. Feel the body. And slowly exhale. Notice how you feel. Open your eyes when you're ready. So even if, let me know how that was. Even if you're new to tapping, even if you didn't really know where you were tapping or what you were doing, how do you feel? It's 11:11 right now. The sign. How do you feel? You feel different, right? Relaxed, confident, excited, turn on, right? Calm. Love it. So if you noticed there was resistance to anything we were saying, I want you to write that down. Because that, like I said, when you have resistance, when you feel contrast, when you feel like, oh, that didn't land right, I want you to instead of running from it and sweeping under the rug, that is a gift. That is a golden piece of information right there. So if you were triggered by, for example, looking back through my notes, I don't even know, like anything to do with the effortless way, anything to do with like letting go of control, forgiving yourself. If you felt any sort of resistance, I want you to write that down and I want you to actually ask yourself why. Why do I feel this? Am I ready to let it go? So I love to heal and expand at the same time. I talk about this all the time. I'm going to talk about more tomorrow. Because why? Because just focused on healing and healing, I'm healing, I'm healing, I'm healing, what we focus on expands. So even though you're telling yourself you're healing, you're actually, maybe part of you is healing, whatever, but you're actually not doing anything about it. It's not until you actually make another conscious override. I am healed. I am healing signals equals I am not. I am healed, door closed. I am healed, done, case closed, right? I am healed. This is my reality. I forgive myself for believing that. Done deal. Okay. So when we can actually shine a light on those like doubts, that is how we're going to move through them. And that is how we're going to heal them. And that then we start to override them with an activation and an expansion. A thought that is activating. This is my truth. I am here to be a multimillionaire. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk all about action, but we're taking action in a new way. Okay. So let me know how this conversation landed for you. I'd love to hear, even if you're on the replay, leave me a comment below. I always read the comments. I will reply back to you. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know this was a lot of information. I encourage you to come back and listen to the replay again and again and integrate this information. Okay, so your homework for today is to sit with your highest self. Sit with the version of you who has. I know Kelty and I could spend like weeks together talking about this all day and all night, I'm sure. And we will. I want you to sit with your highest self. That's your homework. I want you to grab a cup of tea, and close your eyes and just invite her in. I want you to get into the energy of the wish fulfilled, whatever that is for you. If it's millions of dollars, great. Whatever it is, you sit with it and get to know the version of you that you are becoming. Okay. And tomorrow we're going to take action towards her in a new way. Okay. You guys are all amazing. I'm so proud of you for being here. Just by showing up and being here, even if it is on the replay because you couldn't make it live, says a lot about you. And you have already taken the steps forward towards creating the effortless life, the effortless success for yourself. Okay, the fact that you chose an event, dual forces, that you want to come and learn about the effortless way shows that you believe that it is possible for you already. So you've already done a lot of the work. So keep going. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Costa Rica time. Okay. Yay, go record your first podcast episode in this energy. It's so magnetic. When we're in this energy, where do we attract from? I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. We attract from this frequency, and that's how everything starts orchestrating around us in our favor. Okay, you guys, mwah. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow, and I can't wait to hear how it's going in the group chat. Bye. Bye, Kelty. Good luck.